It's Hughezy, hello, and as you can see, we're going extremely low tech with this, but that doesn't disguise the fact that I'm very good looking, incredibly smart, extremely handsome, intelligent, gorgeous, and just a complete walking brain. But it doesn't take away from the fact that my best feature is also my modesty. My modesty is amazing, and I'm pretty sure that if we had a modesty contest against you, it would be better than yours. So today we've got Z&Z, we've got JDP, and we've got Sid from GNR Central on. They're all sound lads. We all had a laugh. If you want to talk to them, we're going to put the social media links down below, and I'll be back at the end to say bye-bye. But first, I want to talk to Zayn in America. Zayn, how's it going, big lad? You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for coming on to the Lena Dunham fan club podcast. And look what I got here.
What's up?
Fucking cap on and shit. But I want to ask you, so how many Hillary Clinton fan clubs did you sign up to today?
2. We got to get her back running. Hillary 2020.
She's not only smart, she's sexy, and those are the best fat legs I've ever seen. That's what we need in the office. Fat legs, farting on leather and trousers. Let me ask you.
I really do believe she will run again now.
Funny, she'll run for presidency more than she'll run on the treadmill. Oh!
Yeah, that is her only exercise.
That and chasing Bill's bitches out of their house.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So, what's the latest state of the whole podcast of the whole YouTube thing going for you?
Terrible. Like not even monetize. Like it's one thing to like review your thing and then say no, but then to just not even review it, such a bitch.
Yeah, but the thing that drives me mad is that, have you heard of this thing that's happened? Some guy with a big channel, he's got like millions of subscribers. He filmed himself secretly putting laxative into his kids' food and then filmed them shitting their brains out.
Yeah.
And he's monetized and all. But if somebody with like 9,000 subscribers or 10 says something like arse in a video, they're fucking deleted.
I know. That's why I was shocked they took down Alex Jones simply by his subscriber count. Yeah, maybe they'll get to him too. I don't know, but their rules and algorithms are so completely fucked and weird.
Do you think that YouTube is slowly killing itself?
You see, now that's the problem, because any normal company, you'd say, yeah, but any competition they ever get, they'll just buy them. So
true. Because the thing is, for me, it's like, see the way they've got, there's Dailymotion, there's Vimeo, or whatever the fuck that's called. And now there's this new one called BitTube or BitChute or something like that.
Yeah, BitChute or something.
Peck of suckers. But as soon as one of them can figure out the whole monetization thing, I honestly think YouTube's gone.
Yeah, YouTube probably just buy them. And like the other thing is, YouTube has the huge advantage of just having the people. I mean, you'd have to start streaming some great shit. Like, I would assume, like, football season's coming up here. If you had a big enough channel to where you're like, yeah, I'm just going to start streaming fucking football games, you can get thousands of people over to your Dailymotion. Well, I still haven't figured out how to live stream over there, but any of those other sites. But you'd have to go there with some, or you'd have to be a YouTuber to begin with. I don't see someone just starting out on those and building up.
Yeah, but I just think that the double standards with it all is ridiculous. Like your guy Logan Paul, that handsome fella, he literally filmed a dead body and he's still monetized. Like, but if somebody else reviews, like, I don't know, vinyls, they'll get done for the copyright of the fucking label.
Yeah, I was watching this progressive black dude YouTuber. He's got like 11,000 subscribers or something. and he was making $2,000 a month off of YouTube, and they just demonetized his channel with no strikes on it, no community guidelines, no copyright strikes. So he like essentially did nothing wrong, but it's just weird.
What I've heard happened was on August 1st, they pretty much demonetized everybody under like 50,000 subscribers, so that they then have to reapply.
I believe it.
Which is nuts. Like, but the other thing about the monetization is that it's the whole double standard shit. Like, the Kardashians could open up YouTube tomorrow with a channel called My Anuses, and they would just show pictures and videos of that all day. But if we then upload a video talking about their anuses, finished.
No, it's like the Young Turks. They came down with their policy, like you can't have torture or war or anything bad in your titles, but the Young Turks can't. Yeah, and they'll never be affected because they're YouTube partners. But it's the whole double standard. It's all bullshit. I haven't been monetized in like 7 months now. And I remember back even when they first did the yellow badge and green badge thing, I found that to be a problem at the time. But damn, I wish they would just monetize me so I can get back to that problem. Like, I'm trying to get over this problem to get to that problem.
I actually don't get why they don't monetize everybody. Because
I'll make it like it used to be, the 10,000 views. Yeah, like it was.
I remember when you didn't even need the 10,000 views. You can literally just join YouTube and you're monetized all within the same 20 minutes.
I know, it just got very, very terrible, horribly managed, fake outrage to do crackdowns. Because their ultimate plan is to move to a pay service. They have 2,000 creators with 1 million or more subscribers, and they want to charge people to watch them. They know they can't do that if they got free competition now. You know, PewDiePie, he might be huge and a lot of people watch him, but they watch him because he's free. The second anyone have to pay money for him, he'll get not even 1% of his subscribers willing to pay money, and the rest will go find the new PewDiePie who they can watch for free. And YouTube knows that, so they're trying to kill off their competition.
You know, I've literally never watched 1 second of any PewDiePie's stuff.
He had this one video where he said the N-word. It was incredible. I loved it.
Then I'm going to watch that video.
He was a great playing PUBG just out of nowhere, called the guy the N-word. I was dying. I made a video defending him, by the way.
But I can tell you, see if they do go to a pay service, and this is what I think it might end up killing YouTube, is that there's a thing happened to me with my bank card recently where, because I've got so much, I've got what? Amazon, I'm a big WWE fan, so I'm on the network. I've got iTunes, and if I buy like concert tickets to the bank, that came across as invalid activity. So they put a restriction on my card. So if you've got somebody who's also on all those things and Netflix and Amazon Prime and the UFC, Box Nation, fucking Google Play, the Lena Dunham fan club, as we say, if everybody's losing all this money every month, people are going to start splitting from shit.
I know. And like, if YouTube wants to become pay for service, just do another show like Cobra Kai. You have your launch show to become the pay service you want to. That's how you become a pay service, like a Netflix. You have to actually make shows by people in Hollywood. And they got a good one, Cobra Kai. No one's paying to watch fucking A-Dubs or the Marshmallow Dude or Logan Paul. No one's going to pay money to watch that. They will pay money to watch Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai is awesome. Yeah. That's how you have a pay service. Don't try to make shows with your YouTubers. I don't want to watch the kid who does the dance have his own stupid show. The backpack kid.
I don't know anybody, like any normal person like me or any of my staff who actually watch the YouTube Red stuff. I've never met or spoke to a person who actually pays for it.
I do, because Cobra Kai. That's basically, and I like, the commercial free, well, ad free, and like you can keep it open when you go on other stuff. But literally, Cobra Kai. That should be their pay service. We have Cobra Kai. We're gonna make a whole bunch of other shows. There's your pay service.
If Jaden Smith isn't in it, then I'm not watching it. That's my rule for everything. That guy's so tough and legitimate. And
first of all, it would be amazing if they got Jaden Smith on Cobra Kai.
It'd be amazing.
It'd be the greatest guest spot ever.
I'm actually trying to get him cast in the film that I'm working on. You know,
what film is this?
Philadelphia 2. And it's a documentary.
What is he, the lawyer or the patient?
Both. And it's basically, and I'm this co-star, and I'm the guy who works in the deli, and he's trying to walk in to buy a sandwich, and I'm trying to push the door to get the fuck out. This is my business. He's like, I just want an egg salad sandwich. The truth. And then the fucking glass starts to melt. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I would watch the shit out that movie.
Do you not think it'd be great if they did a whole film? There was literally one scene, just one long continuous scene, and people go, "No, fuck, no!" And then what if he? Then he dies, and it was revealed at the end it's a prequel to Walking Dead. And that's what that's all.
We're throwing Walking Dead in. All right, so Philadelphia is the prequel to Walking Dead. So they thought it was AIDS, but he really was the first infected.
Yeah. That's what happened. That's how the Walking Dead happened. It's somebody from the 70s, from Studio 54, overdid it with Freddie Mercury. Next thing you know, they sat on the wrong bench, and everybody got it.
That would be a great fucking movie.
And the thing is, it's weird, is that as much as I don't want AIDS, I'm sure it's a lovely experience. It's funny.
It must be fun getting it. I will say that.
Oh God, yeah. And telling your friends, like, it's gonna be awkwardly fun. It's like, guys, I can't come to the Amy Schumer comedy tonight. Why? I have AIDS.
Well, let's also be honest. It's not the death sentence it once was either.
No, but it is a good way to get kicked out of your swimmers club.
Just get AIDS, pop some Flintstones chewables, you're fine.
Oh yeah, well I was always more of a Jetsons kind of girl, you know. But I want to ask you about this whole Jimmernam thing.
Yes.
Because when you do your live stream, it's usually about 11:30, 12:30 by our time, and fucking hilarious. Where it's just like anybody who's like, we've got a whole 7 people watching this, so just expect your numbers to go.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fucking Avatar and shit.
I'm crushing it with the numbers. Crushing it.
But that's actually one of the things that made me have that sort of freak out video on YouTube, because I was just saying I'm a big wrestling fan, and I'll keep it short here, but there's this thing that happened. There's a character called Scarlett Bordeaux, and her gimmick is that she's the anti-feminist feminist, you know? So she's this beautiful woman, comes out and talks about how she's gorgeous and how women only hate her because they're jealous and all this stuff. And I get a clip of this guy talking about it, who's also a wrestler, and I thought, holy crap, I got this first. I'll put it online. Nobody else got the clip first. I put it up, and I thought, whoa, this is going to get like 15, 25,000 views overnight. This is going to be great for me. And then when I woke up in the morning, and bear in mind, I have about over 9,000 subs. When I woke up, that video had 89 views. And I was just like, right, fuck this, because as stupid as it sounds, I was literally at times losing sleep, because I'd be thinking, maybe I shouldn't have uploaded that clip. I was probably going to get flagged or copyright struck or taken down or whatever for 89 views. That's why I just deleted everything.
Yeah. Plus, you know, YouTube, again, in their infinite wisdom, their weird policy of only telling some of the people who hit the bell, only notifying some of them.
Yeah.
It's like Jimmy Dore, he played a video that YouTube, the team there, made saying, we'll only notify some of the people who hit the bell, but we'll also notify people who aren't even subscribed to you. So some of the people who hit the bell for you will notify, but some people who don't even watch you, like that's their trade-off. Like, how about you just notify everyone who rang the bell for me? I get you trying to, your trade-off is bringing me to new people, but just bring me to new people anyway. But plus they changed the thing to where, you know, your subscription feed, that's now changed for some people to, like, let's say you upload 3 videos a day. They'll show your most popular video, but not your other 2 on someone else's subscription feed to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they're doing, like some person put it, just get rid of the goddamn subscription feed and just put trending or for you, because that's what YouTube wants to do.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
But no, just getting back to the Gemini thing. I honestly felt bad for the guy for a while, because it's something about he gets sued or whatever, didn't he, by Gonzo?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it was that, and then like you just seen like his show count and his subscriber count just going down and down and down and down. I mean, being a Howard Stern guy in 2018, why not be a Leslie Nielsen fan? You know, like,
I used to feel sorry for him too, because his original thing for his show was he'd play Howard Stern, you know, the Howard TV clip behind him, and he'd sit in front and do like a reaction video and like stop it, talk over it. That's what he wanted to do. But then SiriusXM hit him with all the copyright things. So he had to switch to a podcast. Yeah. He's not good at podcasting, and he hates everyone on the pod. And when you do a podcast, you kind of got to reveal pieces of your life. And that got discovered from him doing that he's 40, he's fucking abandoned his family. Like, it's this whole weird thing. And he was doing like 6 hours a night, just live streaming, but with nothing to talk about. So you then have to attack everybody. It's a whole thing. So,
but for me, what really see when he made fun of that guy for his brother dying.
Yeah.
Didn't he actually call up that guy's mom and make fun of her for her son dying?
Yeah. Now, I was making fun of him for his brother dying because I thought it was in good, clean humor. But I could never imagine calling the guy's mom and then going, "Hey, I'm glad your son's dead." The wrong son. Like, yeah, that's not even fathomable. Like, I don't think anyone would fathom doing that.
I wouldn't even do that to Lena Dunham.
As much people as hate me, especially on that Reddit, they know my first and last name, and my name's unique enough where I'm the only one in the fucking world named it. But I've never had anyone call me or try and fuck with me in real life. So the fact that he did that was so, like, unconscionable. Actually, call a dude's mom whose son died and said, "The wrong son died." Like, what are you doing?
I don't know what unconscionable means.
Without conscience.
I'm just, it's an Irish thing, you know. We listen to Metallica and Kiss all day. So, you know. But yeah, for Jim and I just thought they, like, I felt bad that his hobby was dying off on him, but then it was just like, but to go that far, that's karma, you know?
I know. He's a known doxer now. He's doxed many people. And what happened to his show, his Discord just got deleted. All his co-hosts are gone. But that's what had to happen, because when you have an environment where you just gotta attack people for content, eventually you're just left by yourself talking about basketball with 12-year-olds. So I kind of knew that was gonna happen.
So is everything still on for you in the Chip live show? Are you still going to that?
Fuck yeah. I'll be there with bells on.
More, hey, if he fucking films it and shit, he should call it the fucking Clipperson show or something.
Fucking home run. Oh, I was smart about that one. I fucking, second he announced, I bought my ticket right off. Didn't even tell anyone. I'm like, let me buy this sneakily, make sure I got my ticket all set. So got my ticket. I'm ready for it. September 14th. I'll fucking be there.
The 14th November. That was like fucking 2,000 years ago or some shit. Home run. Why not fucking home walk? I don't live too far from here.
This fucking guy's good.
So see the problem with Chip Chipperson? It's an infection, and see once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I actually, when I'm, let's just say, enjoying some time with a lady,
Yeah.
and that sometimes you go, you want some pecker? But I gotta ask you this, and this is a question I've had thought about. See this whole Anthony versus Opie thing?
Yeah.
I think it might be fake.
Hmm.
And the thing is, just because it's just like how Opie and Anthony started feuding again, just as Opie's podcast was coming, and now Ant's having all this problem with his app, so now the feud picked up again, and I just think it's almost like an unofficial storyline. Maybe I just watched too much wrestling.
Well, I would think that would be Opie's point in saying the only reason why you're attacking me is your whole show has to be about me. I think that's Opie's point of why they're obsessed, because all they do is talk about him, which they do. But I love it because I love a good Opie smashing. But for them to then later come and we don't talk about you. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Every Chip podcast is an Opie slam. And which is fine though, because like I said, I find it hilarious, but don't deny it. And Jimmy kind of didn't deny it. He said, "You're funny to make fun of." Well, all right. I love that he called him a dry drunk though.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But I've, for me personally, as much as I like Anthony Cumia's show, I have to give up on it. Because see, when he starts ranting about crime and politics, it's like, all right, Ant. Like I'm not like a Republican or liberal. I'm right down the middle. But Ant's so far on the right where it's like it's becoming ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, Anthony wasn't meant to host this. That's why I missed the Opie and Anthony show.
Mm.
You need Opie running it, like to change them off topics. You know, they hate it. Oh, well, you stop it. Yeah, look, we can point to a bunch of times Opie fucked up the flow, but we never point to the most of the times where he stopped these dudes from just babbling about politics or race or what the fuck ever for like an hour straight. So
yeah,
that's why the Opie and Anthony show was the best show.
But that's right. The problem was with Artie when he came on that show, it was brilliant. But it was just like it's like somebody saying to you, you know, by the way, you're going to have a car crash tomorrow. So
yeah,
and you're like, yeah, I'll go for a drive anyway, though. And they're like, yeah, don't do it though, because you're going to crash. It's like, I want to go for a wee drive, and then here comes Artie. Believe it or not, Artie started abusing drugs and alcohol, and it all went to shit. Sadly,
I must say that AA show was damn good though. Mostly because of Artie. I loved that show. When he was there.
I'd love Artie to get back on and do something with Norm Macdonald.
Oh, that would be great. Well, I think Norm is, him going on his podcast would be amazing.
Oh. Do you want to hear my Norm impression?
Of course.
Hey, I got the greatest hits of Duran Duran here, you know. Seem like a bunch of girls, you know. And hey, I was watching that Kira. She's an Asian lady. She showed her front.
That's pretty good fucking impression.
Hey, what can I do, you know? Did you know he Artie Lang confirmed that whole Norm and Elle Macpherson thing?
Oh, did he?
And apparently he said that Norm broke it up with her. And you can just picture that Norm sitting there with Elle Macpherson walks in like her underwear or bikini, and he goes to her, hey, I deserve more, you know?
Yeah. Elle Macpherson.
I still would. So I was thinking I was going to wrap this one up soon here, Cal, right?
Yeah.
And I think what could be good for a follow-up to this. See when your guy, Bayes Frequency, finally uploads all the parts of this Anthony documentary.
Yeah.
You should do like a group chat watch along. And
that'd be great.
And that could be like a whole episode of my show. Oh, I'd love to punch me sometimes. But I'm calling it It's Hughezy Hello.
I'd be down for that.
I wanted to call it something like tough, you know, show off how badass I am, like Hughezy versus the world or some shiznit like that. But It's Hughezy Hello. I'm gonna go with that.
I like Hughezy versus the World personally. Yeah, but the beach, that sounds dope.
Yeah, and we could say
I did that the last, not this last one, the one before that. I just played it during the whole stream, with my whole Discord, and they are fucking great. So yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, because we could all set aside some delicious snacks and maybe do it, and I could join you if they're on there drinking and shit.
Fuck yeah, I'm down. Cool.
No worries. Well, thanks for hey, thanks for coming on my show. You're a great guy. You're beautiful, but I'm better than you. Okay.
And I do love your channel. I think I subscribed to you before I even started making YouTube videos. Always been a fan of the Hughezy.
Thank you. Hey, can you do an Irish accent, by the way?
They can take our lives, but they can never take our. Hey, that's Scottish.
That's Scottish.
Y'all look alike. Keep it real.
All the women are stinking. It's Hughezy, hello, and one of the questions I'm asked the most about is how did I get my scars? Now, people that may or may not know, may not even be able to see it these days, is that I've got one here on the bottom of my chin, I've got one here on the side of my chin, and the one that a lot of people don't know about is I've got one here on the back of my ear. Well, so as I say, I get asked this all the time, so I thought this would be a good time to get this story out into the open. I was walking home one day. I was out on a date with this girl. She's a model. I was going back to my house, and this ninja jumped out of the way, and he said to me and the two girls that I was with, they were both models, those three ninjas said to me, "You, white man, and those 5 models that you're with, you better get the fuck out of the way and give us all your money." So I said to the 7 models that I was with, I said to the 9 girls, "Wait here, girls, I'll go deal with these 10 ninjas." So the 14 ninjas that were there seemed really aggressive, and the 15 models that I was with looked really, really scared. So I said, "Listen, you 20 models just wait here. I'll go take on these 100 ninjas, and we can go back to my place." So the 50 models stayed over there on the left side, and I took on the 1,000 ninjas, totally scratch-free. I said to the 400 models who came back to my house, "Why don't you 500 just go straight to the bedroom, and I'll be back, and I'll be up there in a minute." So, and it took me, to be honest, it took me more than a minute because, it's hard to pour champagne for 700 women. So I went in there with the 800 women, and I banged their brains out, all 1,000 of them, from here to next Sunday. And then the morning after, I was getting up to make breakfast for them, which takes a long time to cook for 2,000 models. So that all happened to me. The 2,500 women the breakfast, and suddenly I turned over and I tripped on my dick, and I landed on another part of my dick, and that is how I got my scars. I want to talk about wrestling with somebody from Belfast. So how's it going, JDP?
Not too bad, Hughezy, mate. How's yourself?
I'm right now, I can't stop sweating. It's driving me absolutely mad.
Why?
Because it's too warm. Like the problem is, I'm a mod, right? Despite the AC/DC shirt.
Of course.
So I pretty much wear parkas and anoraks all year round. It looks amazing in the autumn and winter, but the rest of the week I look like a sweaty pedo.
You always look like a sweaty pedo, mate.
And dance like one.
Oh, that's true.
I managed to see my Sky Plus on my iTunes, but anyway. So first question I gotta say, ask you about, it's the indie scene over here.
Okay.
Now, when I heard about you getting into wrestling years ago, I thought, he's mental, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
But when you see the way the indie scene's gone now, it's unbelievable. It's actually better than the mainstream.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Like it is crazy. UK and Irish scene is the best it's ever been by a mile.
And the thing is, as well, it's like it's like the early 90s sort of cinema stuff when like Pulp Fiction and all was coming out, and people cared about that more than they cared about the new Stallone film or their Die Hard 3 or whatever. Although saying that, Die Hard 3 is class.
Well, have to agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there is a lot of fans that don't watch WWE, that would only watch local shows, and now there's a thing down south called #Low Blows Network, and it's featuring 4 or 5 different promotions from Ireland, north and south, and and it's like on demand, and they've got a great following. You know, they do podcasts. You know, it's all about wrestling, and it's fantastic. Like,
and not only that, fans actually respect it now because they don't go to heckle. They go to have a few drinks, but they go to really appreciate this shit because it's like it's not going to be Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns again. This is going to be something way special, you know.
Yeah, like there's a load of young guys from Dublin that's been working a lot of the PW, which is local promotion shows, and they're killing it. You know, they're getting recognised. This is the time now that World of Sport's on and WWE have NXT UK. This is the time to get signed. And these guys are, you know, they're going to get signed. Like they're 19. There was one guy like 17, and he's killing it.
What's your opinion on NXT UK? Because for me, out of all the wrestling people I talk to, whether it's in person or online, I mean, fans, not wrestlers. No wrestlers want to speak to me. I don't know one person who's watched 1 second of NXT UK. They'd rather watch actual UK stuff, not Vince's version.
Yeah, well, again, it's hard. I mean, there's only been the tournament and then a couple of nights, and they're recording everything over like a weekend, and I assume that they'll be putting it out like a show, like NXT. They'll be building it, but I think they rushed it because of World of Sport.
But that's the usual case with WWE. Like if you look at the lineup for oh god, I think it was No Mercy last year. And with 3 weeks hype, we got Strowman versus Lesnar, we got Cena versus Reigns, and AJ Styles had a giant match against somebody else as well. And it's like, wouldn't you maybe save that for SummerSlam or maybe WrestleMania?
Yeah, no, not anymore. Not in WWE. They just they blow their load. There's no hype. You know, as you said, I think it was Shinsuke AJ was working. You're talking about. So like that was a Mania match that they then had 5 times over.
You know what it's like?
Instead of Mania used to be the finish of feuds.
Yeah.
And now it seems to be the start.
Or it's fucking rematches, and even if that's like we've seen this shit. But it's like what's happened with Star Wars before, because I remember the idea of a new Star Wars film coming out. It's like, oh my god, it's 7 months I have to wait for Star Wars. I can't sleep. And now it's like, and now we still had one in October, then we had one in December, then we had one in May.
Yeah.
And then they're already, and the films are making less and less, and they're overexposure.
Controversial point here, Hughezy. Never seen Star Wars film in my life.
I say it again.
I've never seen a Star Wars film in my life.
Delicious.
I tell you, I seen the first half of Phantom Menace and went, "What is this?"
Yeah, well, that's why.
That's what everyone says.
Just read it on Wikipedia and then go straight into the other ones, you know. The next question I got for you: what's your take on veterans appearing on indie shows? Do you think that they sometimes aren't necessarily needed?
I mean, from a wrestler's point of view, guys need to make money. You know what I mean? We had Kevin Nash on the show. I think it was October last year. Biggest crowd that we've had in a while, obviously, because Kevin Nash. And he didn't wrestle, but he killed it.
Yeah.
You know, he was given a couple of spots and he made them his own. And, you know, I spent a lot of time with Kevin, and I said to him, you know, look at the guys that are general manager or whatever in WWE now. They're always falling over their words, or, you know, why? Like, and I said, you killed it tonight. You know, why aren't you general manager? And he's like, different breed. Everything's so scripted now that it's a memory test more than getting to put your own personality in it.
Yeah.
And on another note, a couple of years ago, I put the PW belt. I give it to Al Snow. He was a PW champion, and it was a fantastic reaction. So I would say, you know, each to their own. Any guys that I've booked, veteran wise, Al Snow, like Galloway's probably Drew McIntyre, I would call a veteran. Yeah. He was there for 10 years. We got him, and it was one of the best shows. We had Shelton Benjamin over. All of these guys definitely brought something to our product. They done training seminars. They worked guys that, you know, help guys along. Tucker, for instance, worked Matt Seidel, and now he's actually signed. WWE pay him, and he works for them as well as he gets to work around the place. But I am I would say I'm for veterans. For them to make money and also to hand down their experience to younger talent around the world, not just in America.
I was actually there at that night. Kevin Nash was there.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was, I'm really intelligent, as everybody knows. And so the show was in 5 hours.
Yeah.
So me and my friend were like, hey, let's start drinking. We're like, I know it's only 5 hours away. Let's do doubles. So by the time I met Nash, I was like, and he, you can see him looking, thinking, "Fuck! If I didn't have this bad leg, I'd crack his head off." So,
I'm sure he gets it all the time.
Yeah, because he knows Scott Hall.
Yeah, it's true.
So, do you think that WWE gets unfair criticism from fans?
No. Because like the WWE product is for kids. Let's be honest. It's not smart. It's not, it's repetitive storylines over and over again. Like NXT is a better thing to watch it for older people. They almost break the fourth wall. Everyone knows it's not real, but let's just beat the shit out of each other and make it look as real as possible. Like I barely watch WWE. I watch a thing on YouTube called Raw in 90 Seconds. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I watch. Or sometimes I'll watch the 1 hour highlight on Sunday.
Yeah.
And even at that's a chore to watch because it's like why am I watching another Bayley and Sasha Banks tag match?
Yeah.
Because I think Bayley and Sasha Banks are great. But the fact that they're still tagging and arguing after every match, it doesn't make sense.
No. That's not you said that. Actually, the last thing I seen Bayley and Sasha Banks were Bayley walked off on her, and then I missed a couple of weeks and tuned back in, and now they're just tagging again. Like, this is the longest drawn out storyline in the history of women's wrestling. And
the problem is as well, they've dragged it out for so long that I don't think anyone's going to care now.
No, the payoff's gone.
Yeah, the time was WrestleMania, but instead we thankfully got a Stephanie McMahon match.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
Thank God.
First time ever she's wrestled at Mania.
And I'm praying it's not the last.
No,
Please give us more of that skill. Stephanie McMahon has hit WrestleMania before Samoa Joe.
Okay, that's
my company. God damn it makes sense. But what do you think though about wrestling fans that don't have the WWE Network?
I've no opinion. I actually have it, but all I watch is like Table for Three and all the documentary style things. I would catch a pay-per-view, maybe depending on who's wrestling, or if one of the guys says, "Oh, did you see this match? It was amazing. You need to go see it." But I wouldn't, like, back in the day, I used to stay up, every Sunday night and stay up and watch them pay-per-views. Not a chance, mate. Not now.
But what I love doing now is I love watching the old Raws.
Yeah.
They do this thing which is just gold mine to stuff to people like me, where they show the stuff, because back when we used to watch it on Sky or even in America, when they would cut the ad breaks, the cameras kept rolling. So we get to keep seeing what happened during the breaks and then the after show stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like I was watching SummerSlam 98 the other day, and after the Rock versus Triple H match, it cut backstage of this segment I'd never seen before, where the Rock was like staring down X-Pac and the Rock's cutting a promo while bleeding from his head, and it's like, oh my God, yes, Vince, take my money.
Yeah, why do they not do more stuff like that?
This is the thing I don't get. It's like, see, Table for Three, I can't watch that anymore because it's so scripted, where they go, so, Matt Hardy, tell me about that time you had that ladder match with someone. You've never spoken about it before. And you can see him so bored to death, and he's like, yeah, I had a ladder match with Edge and Christian. And they're like, whoa!
Yeah, like the whole product from top to bottom is scripted in detail. You know, like when I train guys, and one of the things I do is you're fighting him right now. You've no planning. It's off the cuff. Let's go. Because that's the best way to learn. Is you need to prepare to fail if you want to. You know, you need to prepare that something's going to go wrong in your match. And if you sit backstage, it is, as I said earlier, it's a memory test. So they're told what their matches are doing from start to finish, and they have to go out and remember exactly what it is. Where's the skill in that?
But you know what I do love the most about the WWE Network, and it's just such a golden. Like, it just shows you how much times have changed. We used to have to stay up to 1 a.m. to see the wrestling, to tape it on video, and hope that it was a 3-hour event because you couldn't get longer than a 3-hour tape.
No.
Now, what we can do is on the bus home to work or on the fucking toilet, we can watch WrestleMania 17 on our phones.
Yeah.
You know,
that is good. Like,
that's the thing. But you know, it's awkward. I was watching Unforgiven 98. And it was the Sable, and I got to the Sable versus Luna Vachon evening gown match.
Yeah.
And holy God, I thought I had grown out of that phase when I was younger, but it's still the same where you just, Sable gets the clothes taken off and you're like, and it's turning to Kevin McAllister, you're like, oh!
Is that the one where she has the hands?
No, that was Fully Loaded 98. I'll never forget a movie.
Yeah, fair.
Is Giant Gonzalez Hall of Fame worthy?
Probably a bit before my time, to be honest. I barely remember him, only that he lost the Taker. I mean, yeah, that's the only thing I really remember. So, to me, no. But I mean, what is his achievements? What has he achieved?
Yeah, but then again, the fact, like, he was this 8-foot tall guy with insane diabetes, and I think for people to say, "Oh, he was a crap wrestler," it's like, well, what did you expect him to do? Like, he could barely bend his knees.
Yeah, but you know, I agree with you what you're saying there. He doesn't have to be an amazing wrestler to be in the Hall of Fame. It's, you know, all about what he brings. You know, he probably brought a few people to watch WWF at the time because he's so big.
Yeah.
You know, here there's an 8-foot guy fighting a 7-foot guy. I want to see that. You know, so you know if he brought. He helped younger talent, you know, backstage, and you don't have to be a brilliant wrestler to be a brilliant coach.
But the thing, nice cat.
Thank you, Milo. Yeah.
Ask the cat, is it NWO or DX?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
But no, but the thing about Giant Gonzalez, because I'm fascinated by WrestleMania 9.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you listen to the Bruce Pritchard podcast and stuff and all these other shit interviews I've heard over the years about the WrestleMania 9 we almost got, well, it could have been the greatest WrestleMania ever, but every match fell apart. I'll actually send you a link, a short documentary I made about it, but like the main event was supposed to be Bret Hart versus Scott Steiner.
Flip.
Yeah, and they were meant to do Warrior versus Savage 3.
So what happened?
Well, the drug test. Scott Steiner pretty much refused to go to split up with Rick because Scott Steiner was meant to get the Lex Luger push.
Right.
What else?
So he thought he'd save that, turn on his brother for that WCW.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So we're going to do Taker versus Yokozuna, but they didn't want to give that away so soon.
Yeah.
Who else? But yeah, Flair versus Mr. Perfect, but Flair left before that. Like, it would have been incredible. I'll send you the link after.
I'll watch that, man. That's good.
So the next question is, what do you think about the rise of TNA or Impact or whatever it's called at the minute? Because for me, I think it's the best wrestling on TV.
I have seen some of it, and I've been impressed. Like, I went to Florida 2 years ago when it was still TNA or whatever. And me and my girlfriend went in and seen a live show, and it is the most depressing place. Like, it's so badly set out. There's a front row of fans, and then there's about 10 meters of space to any kind of chairs, and then it's empty, and they cover all the seats with black, and the hard cam for the wrestlers there's no fans whatsoever anywhere near it. So anytime they come out and they're doing their arm up or whatever, it's to a wall.
But I think the way it is at the minute, like see Tessa Blanchard, who's their
she's good.
I think she's the champion at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's probably the best wrestler in America, and people laugh at me when I say that, but I think she's just brilliant.
Yeah, I honestly haven't seen much. Like I know Seidel's there, and he is money. I think he's like the X Division champion or something.
No, he lost it to Brian Cage.
Okay, no, I know him too. Actually, he's pretty good. And then they've signed Joe Henry, who I've worked with many a times, and that boy can work a microphone. I tell you.
Oh, he's really over there already.
Yeah. He done. I don't know if you've seen much of ICW, but his entrance videos, some of the entrance videos that boy's come up with is hilarious, to say the least.
No, but that's why I think you should check out Impact if you get the chance, because it's really like everyone who was there years ago is gone, you know, creative wise, and now what they started doing is instead of signing people to like 4-year deals, it's 3 month or 6 month deals. So once you get there, you get over, and if you want to leave, they're like, well, fair enough, we'll just get more younger talent.
Yeah, better way to do it. Like better way to do it. Hunger, like they had too many veterans there that were just taking. You know, it was like the new WCW, especially when Hogan and Bischoff come back, and
that was like Hogan had Val Venus and the Nasty Boys debut. It's like, come on, lads.
I know. I love Val Venus, but I mean, Jesus. Like me and you know DJ, obviously, me and him started watching Impact like religiously when Hogan and Bischoff come back, because we thought, right, maybe they can do something here, and it lasted about 2 weeks.
Did you hear about Hogan's contract with TNA?
No.
He was getting paid $2 million a year, which is great, but then you've got to consider that in their biggest financial year ever, they never made more than a $700,000 profit. So the second he joined, they were instantly in enormous debt.
Oh God!
Everybody else wanted raises.
Yeah.
So and that's why it just went to absolute shite for ages.
Yeah, so they're still in a. Your man, the Smashing Pumpkins lead singer Billy, he thought he was paying money into TNA. But he was actually just paying money to Dixie Carter.
Yeah.
So when he came calling, you know, here, how much percentage of TNA do I own now? She was like, oh, nothing. So I think he's running House of Hardcore with Tommy Dreamer now, and
then NWA's back.
Yeah, NWA's back.
So what's your do you listen to many wrestling podcasts?
I listen to probably Jericho pretty regularly. Agent Christian, I haven't heard one for a while, but I will, if something was on and you know it's brought to my attention, I would probably listen to Joe Rogan. He's not wrestling. Yeah. Joe Rogan podcast more than anything, and a couple of Theo Vaughn, Fighter and a Kid, you know, stuff like that. Jericho, Austin, but they all depend on the guest.
One of the problems I'm starting to find a lot of them really dull. Like Edge and Christian, I like the opening, the intro.
Yeah.
Then their interviews, it's like a 20-minute conversation dragged out to 60 minutes. And then Austin, I just flat out think he's boring. Like, tell you what, because he's got 3 stock answers.
Yeah.
And like if somebody goes, hey Steve, what time is it? He goes, well, I knew when Owen dropped me on my head that something went wrong. And then like, all right, so Steve, do you like soup? And he'd be like, I should have done the match with Brock Lesnar, walked out, and then took time off after that. And then they're like, yeah, that's brilliant. So, Steve, are you senile? And he goes, if I had to have one more match, it would have to be with CM Punk. And it's like, right, Steve, I've heard this fucking podcast. And he's like, hunting knives, beer, movies. And it's like, Steve, this is the same fucking episode again and again.
He's a bit, he likes to talk about himself more than the guest. I think the best episode I heard was probably the one where him, Gallows, and Anderson all got pissed.
Oh, brilliant!
So
Yeah,
it was totally off the cuff. He wasn't really asking questions. They were all just talking shit.
I was agree.
But yeah, I agree with you. He is very one dimensional. So I actually had an argument with one of the boys about this. I was saying that he's a bit boring. I would listen to Jericho more.
Yeah,
And one of
yeah,
the boys was like, "But it's Stone Cold Steve Austin," and I'm like, "Yeah, but so."
yeah. But even Bruce Springsteen does shit songs every once in a while.
Exactly.
So, just the final question here we've got for you.
No worries.
What's the best match of all time? Or to say, what's your favorite match of all time?
Well, that's a good one. Modern day, right? One of the most recent ones that surprised me, that deserves an honorable mention, is when Lesnar first came back. He fought Cena at Extreme Rules.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just so surprising that they let them bleed. It was a different kind of match that we've seen. Obviously, we've seen it 55 times every time Brock gets in now. But at the time, it was very unique. So that's an honorable mention. But the best match I've ever seen is probably Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko, 2 out of 3 falls in ECW. And it ended in a draw.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen that, Hughezy, one of the most technically, 2 of the most technically gifted wrestlers ever. It's so technical, and like that's right up my street. And like I'm a big guy, so I don't do a lot of technical moves myself. But when I'm coaching, I like to teach technical stuff. So that match to me is probably my favorite.
For me, the greatest match of all time. It's not like the most original, unique choice, but it's got to be Hogan versus Warrior at WrestleMania 6. Like, I've seen that match, Jesus, maybe 40 times, and still you're marking out going, oh my, and the crowd is insane. Like,
yeah, they are that. They are insane.
Yeah, like, and then that's why I always say, see, that's one of the problems I have with Roman Reigns matches these days, is not that I think he's bad, but the crowd instantly ruins the match.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Reigns doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Reigns is very talented, but I mean, you can't force someone down. The crowd. You're right. See what you're saying there. The crowd ruin matches. The crowd book the shows. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But WWE are constantly push Reigns. If they just did something different with him, they would forget about it. The crowd would forget about it.
You know what I think they seriously need to do with Reigns just to get him over? Give him like 2-3 months off, and give him a makeover.
Yeah.
Like, get his hair cut, get new ring gear, and not only that, because he's been exactly the same for 5 years. The Shield debuted.
Yeah.
The same music, same ring gear, same entrance. That's why nobody gave a shit about Rob Van Dam after a while, because and same with the X-Pac. They're exactly the same always.
Yeah.
So, do you want to plug your social media, or will I just do it in the log line below?
Yeah, I'll give a wee plug. So, Twitter is JDP Wrestler, and Instagram JDP Wrestler. Me and Tron are a tag team. We're the current PW tag team champions. We're called the Nightmare Edition, and you can find us on Facebook.
There you go. Well, I'll link all that down below, and I'll very likely have this up online tonight.
No worries, man.
So actually, no, we'll have it up online tonight. I'll edit it now, and it should be up in about 7 to 9 hours.
No problem.
All right, I'm going to talk about Guns N' Roses with somebody from Canada. So, talk to me about the state of YouTube that you're going through at the minute, because I've been following your channel for about 2 years now, and it seems like you're another guy who's getting shit on, basically.
Yeah, like, are you going through the same stuff on YouTube too?
Not as badly as you did, but it was giving me anxiety attacks. And I was uploading stuff and really stressing out about, oh God, what about copyright? What about, because I've heard about people getting sued for uploading stuff.
Right. So I can give you my experience. I'm sure if you had talked to, I don't know, you probably know Franz and Roses and those guys. And they, so basically it started all back in April of this year. So I don't know if you saw the Saskatoon show that it got leaked from 1993.
Yeah.
So it was like a beautiful pro shot show. It was like really high quality. It was one of the best shows of the Use Your Illusion tour. Hell, it's one of the best Guns N' Roses shows I've ever seen. And everybody was so happy. It leaked from Japan, and people started uploading it, and Franz and Rose did it too. And the thing I love about Franz is he improves the quality of all the videos. And then all of a sudden, overnight, like within 2-3 days, they all started getting removed, the videos. And people kind of thought, okay, it's probably management. They don't want this this video being out because it's a leak. People probably obtained it illegally, which is understandable. And then all of a sudden, Franz's channel started getting hit like over and over again. And usually when you upload stuff that's copyrighted, like say a performance of Guns N' Roses, the record label normally will monetize it or claim it. And then you'll still be allowed to have it on your channel, but they'll earn any money from ads off of it, which is understandable. It's fair. Like they're like, okay, you can keep it up, but we're going to monetize it. And that's a fair trade-off. It's almost like the record label saying, we're fine with you uploading this stuff, but we're just going to make money off it. So I wasn't really impacted by that much. It wasn't really until a couple months later when Guns were about to start their Europe tour, it was around that time, that I started to get hit with all these bogus copyright claims. Because like a lot of my videos are basically me talking about the news and maybe showing some clips. And a lot of that stuff is covered under fair use law. Yeah. And so I got hit with all these fake copyright claims. And basically, sorry, that's my dog's in the back ringing the bell. But and basically I ended up as finding a person. I won't go into too much detail, but let's just say they're a friend who helped me out on YouTube. So I had all these stupid fake copyright claims, and this person was able to help me out, and I got all the claims removed. And any future claims I got against me were pretty much thrown out pretty quickly. That generally happens whenever your channel gets a certain number of subscribers. You have like access to like a certain level of help that say regular people have maybe like 100 subscribers or 50 don't. But YouTube's customer service is awful. It's really terrible. Like I understand people's frustration. Like I just stumbled upon it and got lucky. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, I know a guy that's been met all the qualifications to be monetized. His name's Saiyan Z Entertainment. For 7 months, he's been waiting to hear back from him, and it's ridiculous. Like
that's what I've heard, and it's crazy. Like I switched my channel because like I ran into the same issue. Like I got my monetization removed, and like I don't know if people understand how Guns N' Roses Central works, but like I have like staff that I pay. I've got web hosting fees I got to pay, Facebook advertising that goes into it. So there's a lot of overhead we have, and YouTube pulled this stupid BS stuff, and so that's why I switched my channel. But I can reapply, I guess, in late August. So that's why I switched my channel to my other channel, which seems to be growing pretty good. Like people are following it, and I appreciate that a lot.
But your channel, the reason why I love it is because, see, Guns N' Roses, I'm a big fan, but they're not my top 5 bands list. But your channel is amazing. Like that documentary about the Rolling Stones shows, I actually watched them twice, like once on the computer and then again in the, let's call it the office.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
But speaking of money in Guns N' Roses, I've got to talk about the Appetite for Destruction anniversary box set. That was a pile of shit. If you
yeah, so did you buy it at all?
I still haven't actually listened to anything from it. I heard about 20 seconds of Shadow of Your Love, and then I instantly realized this is why this was never released, because it's crap.
Yeah, the only thing I would recommend, like if you want to listen to anything, the only thing worth listening to are the demos. Because although a lot of them were on YouTube for years, but the quality is a lot better. There's some demos that I hadn't heard before because I wasn't scrounging around YouTube looking for demos, but there's like November Rain demos, excellent. There's 2 demos of it. But you're right. Like I think the remastered edition, I didn't really hear any differences in the songs. Like they sounded identical to me, but I've heard people say you really need a vinyl player or record player to hear those differences and those improvements.
But even at that, I thought to not put a Appetite for Destruction tour live album with it was just demented.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the track listing was kind of bizarre. Like there's 3 live songs off of it, I think. And those are the marquee clubs. But like, excuse me, one is like Whole Lot of Rosie, which is a great cover. But I mean, I wanted the whole marquee gig, and I was hoping for some video footage too, like maybe a previously unseen Pro Shot show. But
I've got to tell you this story, Sid, because I've been dying to tell you this since I found your channel. So I went to see Guns N' Roses at Slane Castle last summer.
That must have been a great gig.
Oh, man, I could barely remember it, but I can remember this story anyway. So we got there and we camped out in the field the day before. and what is it America calls it? Tailgating.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, tailgating. So do you guys like barbecue and eat food like before you go to the show?
yeah, so we basically did that. Only instead of tailgating, it was binge drinking, and there was.
Oh yeah, tailgating involves a lot of binge drinking too.
And this is Ireland during the start of the summer. Like some stereotypes exist, I admit it.
Right.
So, about 5 o'clock the day before, we're all just out in the campsite, meeting people, talking. Next thing you know, at full volume, It's So Easy kicks in, and we're thinking, "Oh shit, they're sound checking, they're rehearsing," and we timed it out from it was about 5:15 to 8:15. They ran through the entire gig. So when we then seen the performance the next night, at Slane Castle, it was exactly the same. So not that it ruined the gig for me, but it was basically like, oh, I went to see a play. I didn't go to see a band.
Yeah, I saw Guns twice on this tour. Like we saw him in Edmonton, and then we saw him in LA. And it is almost like the set list wasn't the same, but it was pretty close. Like you always know what songs to expect. I pull up my phone. It's like It's So Easy, Brownstone. I think Chinese Democracy's next, and then like what's after? Live and Let Die, and then maybe Better and Estranged. It's like they go through the motions, and it's kind of disappointing for a band that has such a great catalog that they don't play more of their deeper catalog.
Yeah, I mean, Axel even literally said in the rehearsal, he goes, "We're gonna try something new we haven't played before." And then they did the Black Hole Sun cover.
Yeah, they haven't stopped. They've been playing Black Hole Sun for like the last 2 years, it seems.
I'd rather no covers. Like they're becoming ridiculous with the covers.
Yeah, and even some of the Chinese songs like This I Love, I really hate. And, Chinese Democracy, I don't really care much for the song. I think Better I like, but Madagascar, I was happy to see them play when we saw them in LA. But I agree with you. Like The Seeker, I like their cover, but like, there's so many great songs they could play. Like, I don't know why So Fine isn't in the set list because Duff's there, and they played Dust and Bones without Izzy once. So I don't know why they don't play it again. And the list goes on and on. They play Attitude every night, or they play New Rose, which they hadn't played before. But
yeah,
it's the same set list. Like, I don't know if I would go see Guns live again unless they really change the set list. Like this time in Europe, they did play Shadow of Your Love on the set list, and Slither is now another cover they're playing. Yeah,
but I would go if they dropped the ticket price. It was about £90 for us to go see them.
So did you guys have good seats, or where were you guys?
We were standing in a field. I think there was something like 85,000 people there.
Yeah, so £85 is about $200 Canadian, which is about 150, 160 American. We paid a lot of money for the first time. I think I paid for my wife and I was like $270 for 2 tickets. We were up in the nosebleeds, like way up high. Like if you've seen my video of like the concert I went to, I posted some footage from there, and like we're really up high, but we're on the side so you can see the stage okay.
And just to wrap up, Sid, I want to run through my top 5 Guns N' Roses.
Sure.
Some people bury me for these. Some people agree. Right at number 5, it's kind of played out, but it's Paradise City.
Oh yeah, Paradise City is always a great song.
Yeah, it's one of. What did you think of Tom Cruise's version of it for Rock of Ages?
I thought he's got a good voice. I didn't realize he could sing that good.
I'm Tom Cruise for life. That guy can do no wrong.
Yeah, that guy could do it. Yeah, he's got a great voice. And you know what? I like the song so much. I have the studio version off of the reissue on my phone. I've got the Miles Kennedy version. I've got the Paris 92 version of Paradise City. And then I've also got the demo of Paradise City from Sound City Studios. And I think I've got one more version of Paradise City, maybe Japan 92. Oh, it's a great song. I love it.
At number 4, and this is one that people laugh at me about, Since I Don't Have You, the cover version from Spaghetti Incident.
I like the song. I don't know if I would be on my top 5, but I think it's one of the better songs off the album.
It's the one that every time I'm drunk, that's my go-to sing Guns N' Roses song.
Yeah, I've got a weird story about that song. My wife and I were in Europe. I don't know, 5 years ago or 4 years ago. We were in Switzerland in like Christmas time, and we were in the middle of like where were we? We were near where the Matterhorn is. I can't remember. Oranda was the name of the town. It was some small little Swiss village. So we went to the karaoke bar, and they had 2 Guns N' Roses songs on their machine you could sing. One was Sweet Child of Mine, right? Like as you expect. And the other one was Since I Don't Have You. I'm like, out of all the Guns N' Roses songs, they have Since I Don't Have You instead of like Jungle or Paradise City.
Was it labeled as Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, it wasn't labeled as Skyliners.
That's like, I remember Avril Lavigne said in an interview, she says, I'm going to do a cover of Knocking on Heaven's Door from one of my favorite singers, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
It's like
Instead of Bob Dylan.
At 3, I've got to go with Estranged.
Oh, yeah, Strange is in my top 2 for sure.
I love it, and the fact that it's long and epic. It's like a loud Pink Floyd song.
Yeah, do you like it better than? Well, I guess I was going to ask you if you like it better than November Rain, but do you like the music video for Estranged?
To be honest, a lot of Guns N' Roses videos I don't watch because they're a bit dated, you know.
Yeah, they are for sure.
Number 2, it's got to be Civil War.
Oh, Civil War! I've been listening to nonstop lately. It's such a good song.
It just, and the fact that they started playing that live was just like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah, they hadn't played it live for like 18 years or something, or 19 years, and it's a great song live, and the graphics they use are great, and it's a timeless song.
And at number 1, my all-time greatest Guns N' Roses song, Coma.
Oh yeah, Coma would be in. Estranged used to be my favorite, but I think Coma is now my favorite song.
Yeah, Coma. It's just in the fact that they brought it back, and then there's that bootleg from the vinyl of, or not the bootleg, even the from the Live Air album from Japan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a '93 Omaha version of Coma, which is I have on my phone. Yeah.
And it's just, oh my god! And the song itself, like as I say, it was strange. It's epic. It's long, but you can't turn it off. It's the Goodfellas of songs.
Well, did I tell you my buddy has he has the Mates rehearsal of Coma, which is like it's got Steven Adler playing drums on it.
What?
Yeah, there's he has I think the only copy I know of it. I've heard it before. It's just an instrumental track. There's no Axl vocals on it, and it's basically Steven Adler playing drums, and it sounds pretty similar to the way Sorum plays it.
Yeah, so that's my top 5. Paradise City, Since I Don't Have You, Strange, Civil War, Coma.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I agree with most of those songs. I think I don't think I've done my top 5 yet on my channel. I think I maybe should because like it changes every day. But also on there is Bad Apples. Like not my favorite, but I mean like on that rehearsal tape is Bad Apples with Adler. And then I've heard a snippet of a demo of Coma with Axl screwing up the lyrics.
Oh,
that exists somewhere. It may come out someday, but I've heard snippets of it.
And then just one final question, Sid. Are you kind of glad to hear that Axl is not in Guns N' Roses as far as they say?
You mean AC/DC?
AC/DC, sorry, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I was actually kind of hoping for a second he would be an AC/DC. Listen, I love Brian Johnson. He's one of the greatest singers of all time, but it gave me hope that like the reason Slash and Duff were doing their side projects is because Axl was doing something with AC/DC. But now if it's true that, he's not involved, then I'm like, well, then Axl's just sitting at home doing nothing. And I'm like, it's almost like the old days now. It's like, well, they're not doing anything productive. There won't be new music. So I was hoping he'd maybe be involved, but we don't know the full story yet. Like, I don't know if Brian's going to be touring with him. Like, he can protect his hearing in the studio, but like, I don't know how he's going to do it when he's on the road if he's in fact touring with a band. Like, maybe he'll do the record, and then maybe Axl will go touring or something.
I could see that. And also, it means I don't have to learn a new impression because like everybody can do Brian Johnson, Yeah.
Okay. Did you like Axl's filling in for Brian?
I thought it was way better than what I thought, but at the same time, it still sounded like Axl Rose covering a bunch of songs. If that makes...
The biggest question I think I have is who's going to be playing bass for that band now, unless Cliff Williams comes back.
Yeah, that's and the thing is, it's weird that everybody's so interested in that because AC/DC bass lines are just like do. They're not really. It's not like Flea or Prince bass lines,
Oh yeah, they're definitely not. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I was impressed with Axl, and I'm surprised that Phil Rudd is back too. Because they have a photo of him. Because I always got the impression that like the way that they fired Brian, or they sort of like, got Axl, seemed like kind of cold to me. Like I thought like, the guy had been in the band for so long, and it just seemed like they threw him to the side of the road and they weren't going to deal with him anymore. But it's good to see that they made up, or they're at least working together.
I think that there's probably like legal stuff or whatever in there, but
yeah,
or not. But the thing with the AC/DC, it's like, well, they kept going. Like they've even admitted now that during the Black Ice tour, that's when Malcolm Young's Dementia was starting to play.
Yeah.
Yet they still kept them on tour for like an extra 18 months.
Yeah, like I was unfortunate. I didn't get the AC/DC was here. It was one of the last shows Brian did, back in 2015, I think it was, or 2016. And he was here, but I didn't have a chance to go, but it poured rain. It was like an outdoor gig. I'm kind of glad I didn't go. It was freezing cold. It was outside in the stadium for like 2.5 hours. I don't know if I could have done it, but when we saw Guns, they were playing a stadium outdoors and it was beautiful weather. But yeah, no, it was, I hope that things work out for AC/DC. I mean, Angus is still pretty young. Like he's not in his late 60s. He's in his early 60s. So he's still probably got some time left.
Yeah. And maybe if we're very lucky and very rich, we get the Guns N' Roses AC/DC code tour.
Maybe they'll co-tour. Do you think Metallica and Guns could co-tour now? Like since Axl's professional and he's showing up on time, I would pay to see that.
I would, but I also don't think I'd own a house the day after.
Yeah,
because Metallica tickets are like $200-$300 or something, and then Guns N' Roses, and but at the same time, they'd be like, "What'd you do last night? What did I do? I went to see Guns N' Roses and Metallica. What about you? Oh, I watched American Pie too."
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out.
Oh, brilliant. But I'd love to get you back on when we know more about what AC/DC's doing next.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm following it. When I first heard the story, I didn't believe it almost because I'm like, all these people have seen these guys, but nobody had photos of it.
Yeah.
It was all he said, she said. I'm like, I'm not going to believe it. And all of a sudden, like the photo of Brian showed up. And then like some people originally thought that maybe Brian was doing a solo record. It would make sense that Phil Rudd was on it. But then Angus showed up and then Stevie showed up. And I'm like, oh, looks like AC/DC's in the studio. I don't know how long they take to make an album, but I imagine it'll probably be out by next year sometime.
But I can tell you this. So AC/DC are definitely touring next year because I've got I shouldn't really be saying this online, but I've got a family member who works for a concert promotion company here in the UK and Ireland.
Yeah.
And he told me about a lot of the big names that are touring next year. We've got Metallica's doing a European tour. We've got Kiss, Bruce Springsteen, and she said AC/DC's going to be on tour.
So you think AC/DC is going to be playing Slain next year? Have they played Slain before?
No, they're the one big band that hasn't. But it's Slain or Croke Park. Either way, I'm fucking going.
That's awesome. Yeah, Slain seemed like an awesome gig to go to. And well, I know I was surprised there wasn't any shows this year, but I guess next year there'll be some more Slain shows.
Yeah. But and if you end up coming over, look out for me, and I'll get you 10 drinks.
This sounds good, man. I want to go to Ireland. My wife's part Irish, so she's got a lot of Irish blood in there.
Well, that's why you marry them.
That's why you marry them. That's right.
My girl's got a lot of Irish blood as well.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no, I want to go to Ireland. We were supposed to go to Ireland not too long ago, but it's hard. There's so many places in Europe to visit, and I get so jealous of everybody who lives in Europe because for us to go to Spain, for example, it's like an 8-hour flight. But like we ran into a lot of people from the UK or Ireland. They're like, oh, it's like a 2-hour flight. We come here on the weekend. And I'm like, yeah, you don't fly to Europe on the weekend when you live in Canada. That's for sure.
I never leave Ireland. It's crap everywhere else. Apart from Canada, of course. Canada's class.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we try to leave Canada as much as we can in the wintertime at least.
Like, hey, Sid, thanks for talking to you. See you soon, man. So that was episode 1 of It's Hughezy Hello. I know what you're thinking. It's amazing. It's probably going to win an Oscar. That's the way it goes. If you liked it, give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe, share it, and I'll see you on the next episode. It's Hughezy. Bye-bye.